I had the amazing opportunity to do accent research on Martin Luther King's book, Strength to Love. MLK was a man of great faith and dedication. Born in Atlanta, Georgia in 1929, he grew up to be a Christian pastor, not knowing the effect he would have on millions of lives. He overcame great discrimination in his life and stood up for what he believed in. A lot of his speeches and topics were about nonviolence, faith, justice, and love, bringing him to write about these prominent topics in his book, Strength to Love. After reading this uplifting book, I decided to research what my close friends and peers thought about love and its three components: love for yourself, love for God, and love for your enemies. I started my lesson by having each one of my friends write their individual definition of love, and they had some great responses.
I said that love is the mutual respect and caring for of another person or group. It's happy and kind.
I said that love is selfless giving of yourself and acting in ways that show you care for someone.
And then I said love is about doing things for others and expecting nothing in return.
His ways are often hard and steam, but its wings enfold, yield to all that it speaks.
MLK explains that only through a spiritual transformation do we gain the strength to fight vigorously the evils of the world in a humble and loving spirit. If one does not have the ability to appreciate and love themselves, how will they know how to appreciate and love others? I have learned through past experiences of anxiousness and perfectionism that loving yourself is vital to living a healthy and whole life. My participants agreed with my statement, explaining that they too feel that loving oneself is a process but a necessary goal. I also incorporated MLK's teaching of nonconformity, where my participants explained that love is a respect for the person as a whole. If you truly believe that you love someone, you will not conform to what you think you should love. You will truly love the person for their whole being. I have included segments of the lecture to indicate the cohesiveness and great points we discussed.
When I see people I've invited, that I love and I care truly about, that you guys do that, because the love that you guys just illuminate is very special. Because obviously it's touched my lives, or I like to so I
Children will not be your children. They are the daughters and the sons of the beginning. They will come through your womb, but not be coming from you. They will be with you, but they do not belong to you. You can give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they'll arrive with their own hearts. They're the coming of angels this blessed season. Undone they'll sing, oh how God rests in reason. God rests in reason. Is it reason enough to
MLK states in his book that love, even for enemies, is the key to the solutions of the problems of our world. My group and I discussed that loving enemies, although it is difficult at times, is essential to living a life of love and following God's word. My members and I graciously shared experiences where we overcame hatred and learned to love. Letting go of hate is a burden off one's shoulders and will motivate others to do the same. As MLK once said, "I've decided to stick with love. Hate is just too great a burden to bear."
And everyone wonders, how do you love your enemies? Where's the step? How do you get to that point? And he gives 3 steps. It says, 1 must develop and maintain the ability to forgive. 1 must recognize that the evil deed of the enemy never quite expresses all that he or she is. And 1 must not seek to defeat or humiliate the enemy, but to try to win his friendship and understanding. So, being able to love is such a blessing and is a process. If you let go of hate, the burden will be lifted and you can live your life in bliss. And I think that's just so beautiful.
The last point we discussed together was the third component of love, loving God. I ensured to explain that it was okay if one didn't affiliate with Catholicism. There is always one person or being in one's life that will guide, support, and love them. One group member visualized that person as an anchor or a lighthouse that serves as a beacon of hope, care, and love to follow. It is different for every person, but for me, God is the person who has supported me, given me my family, and all my blessings. He is able. MLK explains in his book that there is no reason to fear him. People should not fear their actions, they should do everything for his honor. I have realized through the help of MLK that if I live a life of love, I will make God proud, live like the role models in my life, and set an example for others to follow in the future.
That someone can do that, and I feel that if God had the power to do that through MLK, he can do that through any of us, or through the people that touch our lives. And I think everyone, if it's not God, if it's your parents, if it's an uncle or aunt, grandparents, they have that ability to touch you in such a way that you feel like so powerful. That, I mean, this book is very uplifting. It's not more of a, this is God's teaching, you should follow them, do all this because this is what's right, but it's more of, find that person, whether it's or being who does show you the way, and follow them because they'll show you the strength to love.
After the open discussion, my group ended with affirmations of love. I thought it was important to share little notes of encouragement or love with each other, even if people did not know each other well. I was gratified when I saw my peers write long notes to each other, sharing their admiration for their stories and the respect they had for each other. I am pleased with my presentation and thankful for the people in my life who kindly took time from their busy schedule to participate in my lecture. I am grateful for the opportunity to have read MLK's Strength to Love. I've gained great insight into the 3 components of love. If MLK, a person who overcame many struggles, hatred, and oppression, found the good in everyone and loved all, even his enemies, it is possible for everyone to do the same. There are no excuses not to do so. MLK had great faith in God, who was always at his side. I will do my best to follow MLK's great example by loving myself, loving my enemies, and loving God. In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., we must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope.